Me and Maurice have talked about this snitching thing, and what I'm telling you is that what my experience has been
Mhm.
is that the people who say snitches get stitches are the biggest snitches that you ever want to see.
Oh, got it, got it. Okay, got it.
I ended my no no now I'm gonna break it down so you can understand that what I'm saying is clear. You know, when you see on turn on TV and you put on News 12 or New York One or wherever it is, wherever your local station, you say, wow, 13 people were arrested today in the pink houses in Brooklyn and so on and so forth, and you wonder how did that happen? 15 people were arrested, such and such. Guess what? They snitching.
Mhm.
My responsibility when I retired was to debrief people who were arrested for certain crimes, and for the purpose of looking for people who were engaging in certain incidents, where maybe burglaries or whatever it may be.
Mhm.
I sat down, and the people started telling me about stuff I didn't even want to know about. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So the people who are kingpins, the people who are really, really doing bad things and bringing blight and death to our community are the biggest snitches ever. And the truth of the matter is that what we do when we don't complain, when we don't empower law enforcement to eradicate these people from our community, is we create that ulcer, and if it's untreated, it never goes away.
Well,
I had a lady call me. She says, I think they're dealing heroin a couple doors down. I said, really? I said, well, call the police. She says, no, I don't want to call the police because a bad actor may show up. I said, okay, try heroin. Because that's what's going to take over your block. I was being facetious, but if you don't want to call the police and you believe the traffic is indicative, the people who are hanging out doing the nod are heroin addicts and cars are being broken into and homes are broken into, and you don't want to call the police for the potential that whoever shows up will be a bad actor, then you got to deal with the heroin situation on your block. There's no getting around
Well,
it.
let's personalize it, Dow, because we had made a point about something, and I'm going to use your analogy that we talked about off the air. So, say for example, we all hanging out in your park, right? All these young people hang out in your park, and I'm out there, we having a good time, and then these kids drive by and they start shooting, and they shoot my sister, and she dies, right? Now,
Don't snitch.
for you, is that snitching? Is your sister that got killed? Would you call that snitching if somebody was supposed to come forward about your loved one? See, when it's personal, it ain't snitching, is it? Because it
But
affects
not only
you.
that, but Maurice, what I'm telling you, if let's say nobody says anything, and we get the plate of the car, and let's face it, everything's on camera, somewhere these days, everything we
Right.
do is being filmed, and we get the plate of the car. One guy rolled down the window, one guy stuck the gun out, maybe two guns come out, and we catch the owner of the car. You believe that this guy gonna take that ride for himself? He said, I was driving. I couldn't have been shooting, so I can be an accessory. But it was Raymond and Tyrone. They did the shoot, so the snitching happens immediately, brother. Come on
right,
now.
but see, but I think what because of just because of where you sit in the picture, that may be that I completely understand that that's true. In other words, because I've also mentored people who were the ones that had to go in and and tell, and so but what I'm talking about is the idea of I'm teaching, I'm in the auditorium, somebody takes something, bunch of people see it, nobody says anything. Now there's cameras in there. We told them there's cameras in there. It's not a hidden secret. It's a big old dome. Yet there was only two people who came to me and said, Mr. I know who did this. And so I think we once again, in the mouths of babes, we actually find out things. So it was, yeah. Oh, once you get into the higher echelons and you're dealing with drugs and so on and crime and so on and so forth, now you're gonna turn stuff over because there's a penalty. There was no penalty when our camera got stolen at school and people knew but didn't say anything. There was no penalty. It's like I just keep my mouth shut.
Why is that? I mean, because if you're in the context of the school, the administration can exact the penalty.
There was nothing that we could have done in the situation where the things got stolen. Where the thing got stolen, we knew who was in the room. But if you're not going to press charges on your students, have everybody that was in that room, since let's play that out. So then we call the police. We have everyone that was in that room. We have them completely investigated. We have their everything rifled through, so that way we can find their stuff. I would go through all their bags. We make sure nothing like that would have turned into a nightmare that would have cost us more than the hundreds of dollars that we lost in gear.
See, we talk about.
I understand.
We talk about how white people. Go ahead, Terrance. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just saying that you say there's nothing you can do. I respectfully disagree. I have a little bit of history of being a consultant at a high school for 15 years in the Bronx and the Vanda Childs campus. So we've had situations like that, and basically what happens is that there's got to be some kind of benefit, some kind of good thing that you can say, listen, okay, no problem. We don't know who did it, but guess what? Everybody know this, know that. And it'll make the culture of holding this information. We're not asking you to swear in a stack of Bibles, but we want to know who done it. You know what I mean?
No, right. All those enticements were all. I mean, and believe me, that's.
Let me say this. Let me say this. There's this cognitive dissonance that's going on within our community and stuff. And then people talk about that, we don't snitch. But you go on Facebook, you go on anywhere. As soon as somebody thinks somebody did something wrong to them, they got a video up, they got something, they're telling somebody about it. So black people have been snitching all the damn time. They need to stop this line about snitching. It's just the type of snitching you're doing is different. The type of snitching you're doing is different.
It's a different flavor.
It's a different, right? So they compartmentalize this whole philosophy of snitching when they've been doing it for the longest time. So, but I would encourage you not just to limit it to criminal activity, but we need to do political, economic snitching on people and stuff.
100%. 100%.
I agree.
But that's the thing that, like, I'm just saying the idea that's what I'm saying. If we did 360-degree checkup.
It's called truth telling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In other words, as Cornel West said, I told the truth as God revealed it to me. Period.